afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time, as I always say every week on these trainings. This is a special training, and I know I say this a lot too, but this one is extra special. Why? Because it's our first live webinar of the year. So we all know, right? We came out, we had the holiday break, and then we had New Year's, and then we kind of started the year on a Friday, and then rolling into Monday, Tuesday. Here we are, Thursday. So it's the first official week, and hopefully you all have your goals written down, right? And maybe the goals checked off, the things that you accomplished from last year, things you need to do this year. And when you speak and talk about the insurance space and where you are today, right, with a fresh new year in front of us, hopefully, and it doesn't really matter if you're on the life side, the annuity side, if you're focused more on, third bedroom term sales or final expense senior market, you have to accept the fact that your clients, right, between AI, between technology, they're more educated now than ever. Okay. And like it or not, consumers are cross buying. Okay. And if it's not from you, right, that's unfortunate. But bottom line is be proactive, get in front of it, learn the basics, know enough to be dangerous, and lean on our services, our marketing department, so you know enough to be dangerous when it comes to life annuities and health, or maybe if it's various life products or concepts, even advanced case strategies. Lean on Levinson and Associates, because to me, the way I look at it, if you lose a client because you said, "Oh, I don't sell annuities," or "I don't get into final expense," but you can call someone else. Okay, ultimately, what happens is you can lose the client. Just the reason why I'm bringing it up now more than ever is technology change, right? We're seeing a shift. There's another pivot, and you have to pivot in order to get in front, to get out there. So we're here to help you, and that's part of the reason why, in fact, we teamed up with AmeriLife a few months ago, was to launch our health insurance department. Okay, was exactly because of this topic, because we want to make sure we have all bases covered for our agents. Our agents were saying, "Bill, we do life and annuity with you. I wish you had a health contract. I don't want to work with ABC Financial. I want to place everything with you guys. I love you guys." So anyway, long story short, 24,000 plus agents across the country, and now they all know they can do life, health, and annuity with us as a one-stop shop. So I want you to look at the landscape the same way when it comes to your consumers and prospects. Okay, enough of my ranting. Hopefully, you wrote down some comments, thoughts for the new year, what's going to change your practice for the better. We're here to help you every step of the way. What are we talking about today? Shifting gears, it's Transamerica. So there's been a lot, talk about shifts, right? Changes. There's been a lot of moving parts on the final expense side, right, in 2025. And we even saw some carriers, some products go away, even just last minute, right? In December, we got notification. So what got me excited is no November, December. All right, I spoke to Eric, our VP at Transamerica, who's happened to be speaking today. He's our featured presenter, and I heard about their great final expense offering, their platform, this great IUL Express platform as well, instant decision. And when you hear about, Transamerica offering a platform like this, it got me excited because why? It's a household name and brand, and it's not, like I said, ABC Financial, who just got into the market 2.5 years ago and they're rated B. Okay, no, it's Transamerica at the end of the day. So I said to Eric, we got to do our first webinar of the year with you guys, and I want you to speak about this awesome new platform, okay? Because this is not just the old school, vanilla brokerage life insurance products anymore, okay? So it's a new story to tell. We have a landing page on our website that goes over everything. So you're comfortable from A to Z, but it's very exciting. So products, great. Commissions, great. Pass-through renewals, which are awesome. We don't hold anything back from you all. Another big plus. So anyway, let's jump right in. We have so much to talk about here. I'm going to run for like 5 minutes, and then Eric is going to take the wheel and jump into the featured presentation. Let's move forward. What I want to talk about quickly is what's most important to us is our agent, our customer. Okay, you're our number one. We don't have a call center in the back room, right? We don't sell to the same bucket of clients that you're selling to. Okay, that should be against the law. If you're an IMO, you should distribute products as an IMO. If you're an agent or GA, you should sell right to consumers, prospects. There shouldn't be any cross sales selling going on, especially from an IMO. Okay, not okay. Anyway, you're our customer first and foremost, our agents. So, Sam, you wrote that incredible review last week, and I had to share it today on this webinar because it is just amazing. And I'm not going to go through every word. By the way, I see you on this webinar, Sam. So, thanks for joining us. But the bottom line is, I just wanted to say to you a heartfelt thank you for sticking with Levinson throughout the years and then sharing this unbelievable review. And then on the right hand side, this is amazing to see how this agent Paul just got his advance in time for Christmas, right? That we actually had to make an exception and sign off for a raised cap. And we got it done for him just in the nick of time. And it changed his holiday season. So thank you to Sam and Paul for sharing these great reviews. And if you want to share on our Facebook page or Google link, please do so. In fact, I'll even send you a IUL prospecting book. As long as you're an active agent with Levinson, we will ship that out complimentary. Okay? Let's keep moving forward. What I want to talk about next is our big powwow of the year. And since we are finally in 2026, we can say this is around the corner, a few months away now. April 17th, save the date, write it down. And what's so great about this, number one, it's free for all active Levinson agents. If you're appointed, you're in. Okay, we have a network luncheon, breakfast, snacks throughout the day. We even do an out of town dinner for all the out of town guests the night before. And even better, this is right in the middle of South Florida on the beach. Okay, in fact, me and Eric, our presenter, live about 10 minutes away from where we host this event. Um, what I want to point out here is on top of the complimentary event, you can qualify for a two-bedroom suite beachfront right on the sand, okay, at just 40,000 of paid premium. That's combined. Life, annuity, supplemental products, all the above, okay? And then you can go up to 80,000 and we do round trip airfare for you and a guest, two free nights at our beachfront suite. And then it even goes up from there. We even had double credit December last month. So hopefully you got some good applications in, some good premium in. But anyway, point is, no matter what, even if you haven't written an app yet, make sure you register because we're capped at 300 agents. We have a keynote speaker, some of our top carriers and presenters, some SVPs will be there as well. Chief of underwriting will be there. It's just going to be a great day. If you're in the space, you got to be there. And this is the first year we are officially launching the health department. We'll have our lead star booth there as well. I mean, some really neat stuff for life, annuity, and health. First time we ever did that, covering all three bases. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about our one stop shop newsletter. And yes, we have a lot going on. We have a lot of tech, we have a lot of tools, products, carriers, especially now with the new health side, right? And it's a lot to keep track of if you're an agent out in the field. So what we did, it's very simple, right? Every other week, you're going to get a newsletter, 411 newsletter sitting in your inbox. Anything that's new, hot, different, unique, reviews, trainings, podcasts, the new episodes, everything is here at your fingertips. So this saves you from having to go to over 100 different websites and forgetting passwords and everything else. One, two, three, click, shoot, aim, boom, you're in. Let's move to the next slide. By the way, if you're not getting those, just let us know. That means we have your incorrect email address. Maybe it needs to be updated. This is my last slide, and then I'm turning it over to Eric. But real quick, like I mentioned earlier, there's been a lot of changes in the senior market final expense space. But bottom line is we have these options in front of you. You're going to see top left corner is Transamerica. And I mentioned the reason why earlier, why I feel so strongly about their offering, especially when it comes to final expense. And then these other carriers are here for a reason. Maybe they have an underwriting niche. Maybe they have whatever. Maybe issue age is maxed out at 90, for example. But each carrier and product has a place in our portfolio of carriers and products. So just know that. And then this is probably the best part of the slide is you're going to see a red asterisk and then a blue asterisk. And what that means, right? And if you're selling Transamerica, right, that's great. And if you do it after we hang up the call, even better. But if you want to use our scholarship program, which is complimentary, or I should say, and or our legacy safeguard final expense sales platform, also complimentary. And this allows you to not just go out and market great final expense products, right? If you're running Facebook ads, if you're using mailers, maybe AI bots, whatever it is, okay, now you can add this great value add package together and go market it and say, oh, Johnny, Shelley, I'm giving you a 1 year scholarship for your grandchild if you bought this final expense product from me. Okay. And then if their grandchild doesn't use it, they can pass it to another blood relative. But it doesn't cost you a penny. There's no commission reduction. It's a win win. And it just gives you a leg up versus your competition. So you got to think like this, especially moving into 26. It's getting very competitive out there. It's no longer a secret that a life insurance agent is a great career path. Everybody knows it now, especially from social media, right? You see what's going on. The Legacy Safeguard is a turnkey kit that you can give to your client, your policyholder for free, and it just lays out funeral details, gives you an 800 number, a planning worksheet. Basically, it covers everything from A to Z when it comes to final expense insurance and planning. Okay, another leg up against the competition. So these are two things you can market next to the great product. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. If you want to get set up, just call any one of our marketers. We'll get you up and running with both platforms or either one. It's up to you. Let's keep going. We have our featured presentation of the day. A good friend of mine for over 10 years now, and my neighbor, Eric Rebenkoff, is joining us. Eric, you want to take the wheel?
Absolutely.
Here.
Thank you, Bill. What a great introduction. Very informative. Wow, I can't believe you're going to be in Deerfield once again for your meeting. Super, really looking forward to that. All right, so
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Eric Rebenkoff. I'm with Transamerica. Today we're here to talk about our FE Express solution. It is a game-changing experience. Why? Because it's 100% instant decision e-app. It can be done in 10 minutes. Some people can do it in less. We have Social Security billing options, really high compensation available to you through Levinson, great underwriting rules, the Everest Funeral Planning Rider, which I'll get into in more detail, really high face amounts, and a pin to sign signature process. Let's look at the two products. Really, FE solution is on your left, the graded solution is on your right. Let's focus on the FE solution. It has two risk classes, select tobacco and non-tobacco. We're an age-last company. Minimum face amount is 5,000. Max face amount is 50,000, 18 to 75. Issue ages 76 to 85. We're at a very high 25,000. Sort of skipped over the graded because I wanted to explain that product on this page, on this slide. On the right is the graded. It's really a return of premium for 2 years plus 10%. If you last to the 25th month, then your death benefit jumps back to whatever the original face amount you applied for, and it automatically comes with the concierge planning rider. The concierge planning rider is a game changer. It is legal documents, funeral planning, document storage. It's a lot of value for no additional cost when you get a graded type of policy. Now, switching back to FE Express on your left, what I'm trying to demonstrate here are the flexible premium options that you have. We'll allow your client to pay with a credit card, a debit card, Social Security Direct Express, that's like a credit, that's like a debit card, and of course, Social Security billing option that I'll go through in a little more detail if you're not familiar with that. So why Transamerica? Well, as Bill mentioned, great brand name. Everybody knows Transamerica. They knew who we are. Don't have to explain that. We have this amazing instant decision process, which is really the sizzle of the product, is the process. Comes automatically with the funeral planning services that I mentioned earlier, no additional cost. We have super high face amounts up to 50,000. Now, this is the algorithm that's underwriting the policy in the background. This is the AI. Now, I could read you the entire slide, but I won't. I'll just read you a couple pieces of it because I have some case studies and some more information that will make all of this make more sense. Because I read it the first 5 times, and I've been in the business a long time, like Bill, and I'm like, man, this doesn't make any sense to me. But at the very top where it says select in orange, the medical conditions, lifestyle factors, height and weight are all rated select. And as such, that person can get select. So let me explain what that means. So if you have any of these conditions, a clotting disorder, you're select. Congestive heart failure, select. Cognitive disorder, select. COPD, select. Coronary artery disease within the last 2 years, select. It's almost easier to tell you what's graded: cirrhosis of the liver and cystic fibrosis and pulmonary fibrosis, defibrillator. Those are declines. In fact, it continues. And again, it's easier to explain to you what we won't allow. Down syndrome, sadly, is a decline. Felony charges within the last 2 years is a decline. If you're past it for 2 years, you're select. Heart attack within 12 months, select. HIV and AIDS, decline. Heart disease, select. I think you can see here we're a very, very liberal and open-minded company when it comes to medical problems for your insureds. One last thing to point out here: drug use within the last 2 years, a decline. But if you've recovered from your drug use for 2 years, then you're eligible at select. And just because you're on painkillers does not mean you're not eligible. All right, so I mentioned some of the payment options. Man, we are one of the most flexible companies when it comes to payments. Bank account, credit card, debit card, you name it, we will allow it. Social Security billing option. I will tell you the Social Security billing option is the most persistent payment option. Persistency pays. Nobody likes chargebacks. But if you know your client gets their Social Security on the 3rd Wednesday of the month, that's the day to draft for their premium. And I'll show you a better example in a little bit. All right, now let's look at some case studies that will really help you understand the medical conditions and how liberal our underwriting is. Here's a gentleman. He's age 75. He has COPD, diabetes with neuropathy, multiple sclerosis, and Parkinson's disease. He's eligible, day 1 coverage. Great opportunity to upsell somebody when you've applied for 25,000. Maybe we should up it to 40. Here's another gentleman. He's 60. Diabetes with neuropathy, lupus, emphysema, day 1 coverage. Good case. Here's a fella. He's got some problems. He's age 70. He's got congestive heart failure, which is not normally a deal breaker. But with diabetes, that's an added complication. And sadly, he would get graded. But remember, graded is not the deal breaker you think it is. It comes with the concierge planning rider, which allows for some great planning with legal documents, document storage, planning the funeral, 24/7 funeral assistance. Plus it has like a price line for funerals by zip code that can be very helpful. Keep the case, put it on the books, help the client plan their future. Here's another gentleman, age 80, kidney failure. That's really going to be a deal breaker for us. Congestive heart failure, not a big problem for us. But because of the kidney failure, anything with dialysis and kidneys, that's going to be a decline with Transamerica. Well, Eric, how do you quote it? How do you submit the application? Really, your ticket to ride, your entry to access is a Transamerica writing code. You've got to get your writing code from Levinson Associates. So if you're not an active agent with Transamerica now, get contracted with Levinson Associates, and then you can log into our web portal. You create your own account. Once you have, you can't get that account without an active agent ID. You log in to secure.transamerica.com. You choose the Transamerica FE Express Solution product tile, and you're off to the races. In this example, it's an example of a gentleman named Jeff logging in. When you log in, you get to see any cases you have in progress. That's all nice, but really it's all about getting the quote. This allows you to get the quote. In this example, Jeff is quoting somebody a $25,000 policy in Texas on someone age 66. It works out to roughly $149.81, or to me, that's roughly $150 a month. I usually work backwards. I work off of somebody's budget, but everybody does things a little differently, don't we, Bill? So I would go, hey, what does 150 buy us? Oh, in this case, it would buy us 25,000. In this example, it's, well, how much is 25,000? Well, it's roughly $150, sir. Oh, that seems reasonable. Great. Let's see if you're eligible. All right. Well, I'm going to log in with my agent ID, put my agent ID in there. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, so I'll make it a little bigger. I log in with my agent ID number that I got from Levinson Associates. It allows me to then begin the application process. Let's see if you're eligible before you decide how much and what type we should get. So on the left here, you'll see that our process is going to get listed down here 1 through 5, and I'll show you screenshots of what it would look like on your tablet or your phone. So in the beginning, personal information, real simple. Name, gender, date of birth, height and weight, phone number. When you put that information in, it's going to start to pre-populate the application for you, which is very helpful. And what it's going to do is fill in the address, right? It's not going to, Texas. You're going to have to fill in the social yourselves. Once that in, it's going to continue to help you pre-populate the application. Now, number 2, you start with the health and lifestyle. These are basically your knockout questions. Have you ever been diagnosed, treated, tested positive for, been given medical advice by a member of the medical profession for any of these conditions? You'll notice they match up with all the things I said were a decline earlier. Are you currently bedridden, incarcerated, in home health, nursing home? No. Fantastic. Let's continue. Sorry, it's going to toggle through some stuff so you guys can see it. In the last 6 months, have you been advised by a member of the medical profession that you have any tests, or do you have HIV? No. This next section is kind of interesting, and it's voluntary, but you have to answer the question, either 0 days or 7. In a typical week, do you perform any physical activities for at least 10 minutes a day? Well, sure. I like to walk down to the mailbox, which is about 8 blocks away. It takes me about 5 minutes to get there and about 7 minutes to get back if I run into my neighbor. Great. How many days do you do that? Oh, 4 days a week. Fantastic. It could help the client down the road be the difference between select and graded. Lifestyle information. Lifestyle is really tobacco usage. It's also your driving habits, DUI, reckless driving, felony, drug use, alcoholism. It takes longer for me to walk you through it and explain it than it does to actually take the application. And here it gets a little bit more detailed. It asks you again about the DUI, any pending charges against you. Are you on any barbiturates, amphetamines? Again, even though you're on some painkillers, it doesn't necessarily knock you out. In the last 2 years, are you part of any dependence or abuse classes? Are you replacing any life insurance? Now we get to the good part. This is where we start to accelerate the process. Hey, Mr. Proposed Insured, now I need to, do you consent to do business electronically? If so, then I'm going to have Transamerica send you a text message. I need your phone number. Fantastic. So I'm going to text it to you. Here it comes. They're going to give you a link. The text is going to come from an area code 469. You could ignore that link. That link we could use later on in the process if you need it. All I really need from you, sir, is the 6-digit PIN code. If you'd read that code off to me, then we can proceed to see if you're eligible. I'll plug it in to the program here. And voila. One last thing I need to do is make sure that my partner, if I'm splitting the case with somebody, your agent commissions, again, on the left here of the presentation, personal information, health and lifestyle, signature process, your client signs, then you're going to do your commissions, and then you're going to sign. There you go. Voila, Richard, you're approved. You're approved for 50,000. I know you applied for 25, but wow, this is great news. You've been approved for the entire maximum they'll allow, 50,000. This is a great opportunity, Richard, based on your medical information and what you shared with me about your family members. This could really be a good opportunity for you to buy a little bit more coverage. This is where you have an opportunity as an agent to upsell before you put the policy in force. You could also downsell it. And Bill, you might say, well, Eric, why would anybody want to downsell it? Well, maybe Richard came back graded instead of select. And at graded, his 25,000 premium is going to be a lot more than the 150 we originally quoted. So I might have to decrease the face amount down to 12,000 to get back to the 150,000 that we had originally committed to, because I want to help him at the worst of time. Because if you're going to get graded, you're just one step before decline, and you have a shortened life expectancy. All right, I'm moving on. Time to finalize the coverage. What do we have to do to finalize coverage? Well, we got to add your beneficiaries. All right, let's do that. Got to agree on the premium. Richard found it in his heart that he wanted to buy up, so we were able to find some additional premium, and at $237.53, that buys $40,000. Now we have to finalize it by adding the banking information. Now this is important, and I'm going to slow down a little bit, and I want you to take a look at this. This gentleman's going to do his banking, and we're going to go through it to make sure you can see what the banking options look like. He's using the Social Security billing option. Persistency pays. Let's keep it on the books. I want to know that his Social Security is paid on the third Wednesday of the month. Hey, that's just a couple weeks from now. So we're going to choose that date, and that's when they're going to pull out the 237. I know if Social Security is dropping the money into his account on the third Wednesday, it's almost guaranteed the money will be there to pay his life insurance premium. Persistency pays, ladies and gentlemen. I love that option. All right, so we get the banking all set up. We verify everything one more time. Now we set a second pin to the insured. And this is, now that you're approved and we verified your banking, your bennies, you're accepting a policy for $40,000. So, Mr. Insured, please read me off that 6-digit PIN. Outstanding. I sign as the agent. Everybody agrees to everything. Signs completed. Voila, policy is issued. Now, once it's issued, the client can download the policy, or they get what's known as a policy promise, which is a certificate that has all their policy details on it. There's 2 ways they can get their policy. They get it as a text message because they've agreed to do business electronically, or I, as an agent, really 3 ways: text message. This is what it looks like. Or I can go in and I can get it on the web portal and I can download it and send it to them. I don't like doing that. I like to teach the client how to go on the web portal, check it out themselves so that they can download it. It's sort of like Amazon. We have to start training our clients self-service for a lot of their solutions. Think about it. Nobody pumps their gas anymore unless you're in the state of New Jersey. Nobody does their own, you have to do all your own stuff for Amazon. People are programmed to do it, and the life insurance business is moving in that same direction. Here's some great information about some tools you can use to understand the products better. But I would suggest you get it from our friends at Levinson Associates, because they can really guide you the best as to what the right solution for you and your client may be. Bill, that's the end of FE Express. I'm ready to move on unless you have a comment or there's a question we need to answer.
No, let's do it. This is the most exciting part, Eric.
All right, let's move on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next one. Transamerica Financial Foundation Index Universal Life Express, also known as IUL Express. This is a brand new product. We are super excited about it. We are having so much success with FE Express. We built an IUL product on the same underwriting chassis. We just changed the rules a little bit so that it fits your business and your lifestyle. 100% instant decision underwriting. This application can be done in 15 minutes. Policy can be issued and in force. Max coverage, $500,000. We are an industry leader. It's outstanding, immediate coverage. Let's take a look at it. So issue ages are 18 to 60. Face amounts are 50,000 to 500,000. You have older clients like me, 61 to 70, I could buy up to $300,000. Oh, excuse me about that. Oh, I got to go back. Sorry about that. Eligibility is U.S. citizen and green card holders. You will find that some people have ID cards or tax identification numbers. They're eligible. So it could be, if you're working with resident foreign nationals in that space, it could be a great opportunity. The risk class is select non-tobacco. Select is better than standard, just below preferred. So you're getting a very competitive rating risk classification with minimal underwriting, no blood, no urine, instant decision. There's 3 death benefits, but I want you to think of it as just 2, level and increasing. Living benefits are automatic, critical, chronic, terminal illness, automatically built in. No change in price for adding them. Overloan protection rider just means you can borrow money out of the policy. You just can't borrow out too much in any one year and lapse the policy by accident. Comes with the same funeral concierge planning rider I discussed earlier. However, it's only available on policies of 250,000 and above. What makes Transamerica so different in the instant IUL space? The max face amount of 500,000, the risk classification of select, index options. We give you 4. I like the balance uncapped. Global index is very, very interesting. The S&P 500 is the benchmark of all indexes. Hey, Bill, if you believe in America and you think the top 500 companies in America are going to continue to grow over a period of time, and you want to participate in some of that growth, you want the upside with no downside, we'll have a solution for you, and that's called the S&P 500 index. So you have more options with us on our chassis than other companies. So how do you quote it? How do I get in? What do I do? Well, again, your ticket to ride is that agent ID code. You got to get contracted with Levinson Associates. Then you have to go on to our secure.transamerica.com portal, log in, and then you can go to the FE Express or FFIUL Express tab, and you can click at it, and you're in. This is an example of a lady named Sonia. She's the agent. And when she clicks in, she can see that she has multiple applications in process. A couple of them are complete. Some of them still need some information. But really, this is where you would click and get a quote. And you, as the agent, you're going to run your own illustration right there in front of the client. Now, you could do it privately without the client. I like to do it right then and there at the point of sale with my client. There's 3 options to run your illustration: target solve, max protection, maximum cash value. Target solve is maximum commissionable premium for the face amount that I'm requesting. So it's going to run the illustration based on that number. Maximum protection is going to be the minimum premium per month or per year for the face amount I'm choosing. And then max cash value is the opposite of that. It's going to be the maximum premium per month or per year for the face amount that I've chosen. So 3 simple options. The riders and benefits are already built in, and you get to choose your premium allocation or the index. Now, this is exactly the same slide you're going to see more or less as you're presenting to your client, and you can choose. And I do like this balance uncap. It's a little complicated for the average person. So if you want to keep it simple, you just pop down there to the S&P 500 like I explained earlier. Or I like the balance uncapped because it gives me uncapped on the S&P and the Nikkei on 2/3 of whatever happens in that year. The other third goes in the Fidelity multi-factor index. I really don't expect any rate of return from that account. It's a balanced indexed account. That's just a volatility account, but I like the uncapped of everything else. Now, again, that's a little complicated, but maybe you have a more sophisticated buyer, and that would be a good story for that buyer like me or Bill or Andrew. But if you want to keep it simple, go to the S&P. There's 2 of them. There's one with a cap of 7.25 and one with a cap of 6.5. What's the difference? The 7.25, you're allowed to buy up in that cap. It's going to cost your client 1% per year to have the additional participation. I like the additional cap. It's all about performance. You're trying to get as much cap space as you can. So I personally would buy up. That's my 2 cents on that stuff. And this is your illustration. This is the visual that your client's going to get when you run the illustration. Remember, you're doing all of this right in front of them on your tablet, either in person or over the phone on a WebEx or something like we're doing now. I could share my phone, my screen, I could share my computer screen. And so I like this graphic. It's simple, I have the option of downloading the full 45-page illustration if necessary, but 90% of the time, I'm going to focus just on this graphic on the left. Younger people don't need to see the 45 pages. Some older people might. Again, that's my 2 cents on that, Bill. Moving on. All right, let's get into the sizzle. Remember, there's the product and then there's the process. How do we apply for it? The process is the sizzle of the product. The product is solid, great name, good risk class, outstanding index choices, high face amounts up to 500,000. But now I'm going to consent to do business over the phone. And when I do that, it's the same as what we saw before. I'm going to get an application part one. I'm going to have the health, lifestyle questions, which are the knockouts, just like we saw before. I'm going to choose PIN to sign. So we're going to consent to do business electronically, just like I showed you before on the FEX Express product. Again, they have the option of clicking on the link. They don't have to. They could just give us the code and you can proceed. This demonstrates it a little better than the previous presentation. Like, look, Bill, I don't need to go. You don't need to click on all the consents right now. We really haven't consented to anything. Just give me the code. Let's see if you're eligible. Then we'll go through that again. He gives me the code. I put in my commission disclosures for myself, and maybe I split it with my business partner. And voila, we're approved. Look at that. In 15 minutes, we know we have an indexed universal life solution available for this client. And I can customize it. I could rerun the illustration. I could go from target to max cash value and back. I could upsell the face amount or downsell it. In this case, I can't upsell the face amount because of the client's age. I can't max it out any more than the 300,000. But if it was a younger person and I applied for 300,000, then they would be eligible for the full 500,000, which is outstanding. Gives you an opportunity to upsell it before you put it in force. All right, what do we have to do to move forward with this? This looks great, Bill. How do we proceed? Well, let's confirm your coverage. Let's add your beneficiaries. Let's finalize your face amount, the 300,000. Let's figure out what we're going to do for banking. Now, banking is different in this product. You can't use a debit card. I'm sorry, you can use a debit card. You can't use a credit card. And there's no Social Security billing option for IUL. It's really just a traditional bank account, checking account. So I get the bennies, I get the traditional banking account. Client agrees that everything's good to go. All right, I'm gonna have Transamerica send you another text. Please read me the PIN. And when they get the PIN, then we go ahead, finalize everything. Congratulations, your policy is in force. You get the same policy promise. This is getting text to your client. And remember I said earlier, hey, I could go on to Transamerica, secure.transamerica.com, and I could go in and, you know what, Bill, I'll download the thing and I'll email it to you. But again, I really believe that we should be training our clients. Well, let's go into the Transamerica portal for clients and let's check it. Let's make sure you know how to get in there, see your policy. That way, if you need to change your banking or your beneficiary, you can go right in and do it. So here's an example of your client logging in to transamerica.com. They created an account with a username and a password, and they can self-direct their policy. You can still see all the stuff when you log in, but they don't need your permission to go in and change their beneficiary or change their billing option. Or they can call you up one day and you can go, hey, let me share my screen. Let's just log in And let me show you how you can do all those things directly on the portal. Save yourself some time and aggravation. Oh, that's great, Bill. I really love that. So, as Bill mentioned earlier, there's been a shift in technology and AI. Everything's becoming self-service. And that's true at Transamerica. We have products and processes and solutions that meets today's age and tomorrow. Really, we want to help you be more successful and faster so you can get on and help the next person and be successful with them. That's all we have for today. It's built for today, ready for tomorrow. There's a QR code that will help you get to secure.transamerica.com. But your ticket to ride, ladies and gentlemen, is that agent code that you have to get from Levinson Associates. Bill, I really appreciate the
Excellent.
time. Always
We
appreciate the partnership with you and the team.
we
Thank you for
appreciate
letting
you.
me tell the story today.
Yeah, no, that was excellent, excellent. And I knew a little bit about the platform, and now I'm even more excited. And what's so exciting to me, and I see a lot of the comments pouring in, but it's simplicity. It's taking an IUL, right, and turning it into a 15-minute sale and process. And yes, we've seen a couple other similar versions, but there's so many moving parts. I feel like along the way the agent kind of loses control of the relationship and the prospect. So anyway, love to see this, Eric. You all did a great job. All right, I got about 7 minutes left, and I want to make sure we touch on leads, driving traffic, right, and creating some more open doors for you to discuss these two options. Right now, we have the great carrier, great products, great new instant decision platform. How are we going to make some more sales, right, and use these products? So number one, what I want to talk about too is, this division of Transamerica is available now through Levinson. So this isn't something, down the road. It's not the old Transamerica brokerage from 10 years ago. Make sure you're appointed with Levinson. Make sure you have your agent number active. If you think you were appointed maybe a year or two ago, maybe not under Levinson for whatever reason, just call us, let us know. We'll confirm for you. And if there's anything needed to get you set up on our channel, we will make that happen for you. Okay. And then don't forget to cash for contracting and leads for contracting means we will match or beat your existing commission grid. Okay. If you're with Trans with another upline for whatever reason, 99% of the time we beat the commission grid and you get cash or leads with your first paid application. So run with this stuff. Um, Everything is on our website, and then we are going to send out an email to all attendees tonight. You'll have it in your inbox. If you're listening to this 2 weeks later when we send it out, just call in and we'll get you up and running. Let's move forward to the next slide. Another thing I'm super excited about is you're feeling the new tech, right? You're feeling not only what's going on inside of this industry, outside of this industry, but now where there's an IUL sale, right, that you can make in less than 15 minutes, like it or not, things are changing. They're moving not forward, but fast forward times 10. Okay. And you have to be in the loop and just, again, know enough to be dangerous. And we're here to help you. So even if you barely know how to run a Google search, it's okay. Just call in and we'll make sure you have all the pieces. Okay. And literally, we'll do everything except speak to your client. Okay. That's where you have to get involved. Okay, now what I want to mention with technology, you know about Insure Me Now Direct, right? We have that awesome platform with the number one term product today, and what I just found out this morning is the number one term product that's on our platform. I won't even mention. Actually, I do have to mention the name. It starts with a B. Okay, it's the number one term product in the world. It's on Insure Me Now Direct. It starts with a B. I literally just found out it's we'll call it unofficial. They're going from $4 million to $5 million instant decision. Okay, that means in seconds, real time, your client and you, okay, or you can just send your client to your page and show me now. They get a decision in seconds, and from application to decision to a policy issued in less than 2 to 3 hours. Okay, and that's literally with the client looking at their policy on their screen. So it's amazing. And now up to 5 million launching in February. So this is priceless, folks. It's unreal. Now you have an IUL, right? We just went over. We have final expense, and now we have this awesome term product. So again, all three bases covered, just with those two carriers and three products. Anyway, Levinson final expense platform. So now you have the great product, the great carrier behind it, household name, right? A plus rated, everything's wonderful. But you need a CRM tool. You need the leads, right? How do you prospect? What do you market on social media? Bill, I'm only getting 6 likes. I want to get, 100 likes and comments so I can direct message these people and try to make a new sale from Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok or LinkedIn. Okay, we have everything to help you accomplish that. Okay, just know that at the end of the day and what you're looking at in front of you is our Levinson exclusive FEX sales platform that covers everything from A to Z, including the scholarship program, right? Including Legacy Safeguard. We already went over that. We have a whole library of marketing material, guaranteed issue products, you name it, we have you covered. Okay, let's keep moving forward. What I want to talk about next quickly is our new agent benefits suite, okay, and Lead Star platform. So because of our latest partnership in 2025, we now, I mean, this is you as an agent, have a option to participate in our group health insurance platform, our E&O policy that covers B-rated companies or greater, starting at $295 a year. Okay, we have 4 different lead programs now. Okay, forget this isn't through a third party lead vendor that makes, whatever, 30, 40, 50% on your leads. This is with us. This is with the AmeriLife Levinson partnership. Okay, they own the Lead Star company. So you can leverage this stuff. Okay, look at the pricing of these leads, and they give you a complete turnkey CRM tool. It's all free. Okay, mailers. They do the seminars for you. We have an A to Z system just for seminars, annuities, on the annuity side, on the IUL side, final expense. Okay, everything is covered. I did a podcast with Megan. In fact, they're going to be live at our expo as well. So this is just such a great opportunity all the way around. You can hear it in my voice, and I can spend 3 hours on it, but unfortunately, I don't have the time. But anyway, the point is, pick up the phone and speak to one of our marketers when we're done, or just send me an email, and I'll put you in the right direction. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about our final expense quoting tool and health analyzer. So if maybe the consumer is shopping, okay, and you need to shop and be proactive and get in front of the appointment or sale, okay, use all of our free tools. This is all on our website. You can put in as little or as much information that you have. The system will tell you the carrier, product, premium, everything's in front of you, and the underwriting, by the way. So it's all built in. It's all real time, interactive. Let's keep moving forward. I want to talk about Legacy Safeguard next. This is a turnkey sales kit focused just on agents selling in the final expense space, 100% complimentary. Okay, let's keep moving forward. By the way, I saw Eric also mention they have part of this toolkit built into their platform. So that's another bonus. Okay, it's not as comprehensive, but it gives you enough to be dangerous. It gives you the basics. So that was a great tip that I just saw. Let's keep moving. These are 2 awesome social media posts that we found online, and I'm telling you, you should do the same thing. I would do it every day. But you can go in, for example, Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform you love, okay, and just put in final expense life insurance, okay, or index universal life, and just do a search, and the option will come up. It'll say recent or top performing. And if you put top performing, it's going to show you whose posts are doing the best. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay. And this literally does everything for you. Why? Because this isn't rocket science. Number one. Number two, you can put an image together and add some of these bullets. And if you get 6 people that like it and 2 people had a comment to say, hey, how much is this stuff? I didn't know this. Okay. It's a new lead, free. Okay, cost you nothing. So anyway, left hand side, over 1,000 likes, comments, and shares. Okay, on the right hand side, over 300. Okay, now look again, rocket science? No. If you decline life insurance now, life insurance may decline you when it matters most. All you're doing is pulling the covers back. You're educating the public, but you got to get the stuff out there. That should be one of your goals, by the way, for the new year is to post weekly. Even if you say, Bill, I'm not a teenager. I don't need to do this crap. It works. I promise you. Well, look, there's the proof in the pudding. Does it work for Evan? Okay, on the left side? Absolutely. But you got to start doing this. Start somewhere. Okay. I promise you, you'll see a return. It's not going to be overnight, but you'll see a return. Let's keep moving. Enough of my ranting. I want to get everyone out on time. Bill Levinson Experience Podcast. This one I just rolled out last week. It was awesome. So this was a New Year's edition, number 64, with the CEO of AmeriLife. Okay, they literally just acquired Crump, and they're doing huge things on the life, health, wealth side. You hear from Scott. You hear about his vision and just some great sales tips, strategies for agents, technology, everything from A to Z. It's an hour long. Check it out when you can. In fact, I want to hear your thoughts. Share your thoughts with me about the episode. I'll send you the prospecting book on me. Okay, let's keep moving. All right, future training events. So obviously, new year, new strategies, new concepts. One of your goals should be I'm going to be on more of Bill's trainings and podcasts. Okay, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to share feedback, right? Because I want to learn. I want to do something different. Maybe you can even be on the podcast as a guest speaker in 26. If you're interested, let me know as well. We'll get you on there. Okay, so premium finance platform. So this is an exclusive premium finance turnkey platform. Okay, that's again owned and created by AmeriLife. So we're going to launch this on the 15th. You've never seen anything like this before. Just under that, we are launching a new rapid decision IUL with living benefits. So that's another great niche on the 29th. And then we have a few in between that we're going to share over the next few days. My final slide here, and we'll let everybody go. I know it's right before the buzzer, which is great news. We're starting the year off right. Okay, we're going to be on time. One of our goals. So real quick, left-hand side, we're going to talk about our social media posts, right? Positive Tuesday. What does it mean? Absolutely nothing. It's just a way to show the agents we're not just talking, we're showing you, right? Proof is in the pudding. Do the same thing. Call it long-term care Thursday, IUL Monday, final expense Tuesday. Who cares? Come up with a cute little image, a quote about some products or example premium. Okay, 35-year-old, $1 million, 20-year term, $18 a month. Click here for more info, whatever. But you got to get scrappy and creative. It's a new year, folks. Okay, and don't just do it for a week or 30 days. Okay, do it for 12 months, and your year will be different. The new year doesn't change your life. Your decisions, your attitude, your persistency, that changes your life. Okay, happy and healthy new year to each and every one of you. My question of the day before I let you go. Get your little fingers on the keyboard because you got to be first. You got to be correct. I mentioned this is a kind of a trick question, but if you were paying attention, you'll get it right and you'll get the Apple iWatch. Okay, this is for active agents. If you're not active yet with your first paid app, you will receive your incentive. Okay, and by the way, everyone's a winner because if you leave a comment review on our Facebook page, on our Google reviews page, you get the IUL prospecting book complimentary. Now, who's going to win the Apple iWatch today? I'm going to tell you right now. Question is, I mentioned our Insure Me Now Direct term carrier that's going to be adjusting the max face amount to $5 million in February. Next month, February. You didn't hear it from me. Did not hear it from me, but it's coming next month from 4 million to 5 million. Instant decision, A to Z. Okay, I'm talking quote, application to policy issue within a couple hours. It's insane. Standard or better, up to age 60. You tell me the name of the carrier, you win. Andrew? We have a winner.
We do. We do. It is David F. David F is in Frank.
David F. Congrats. The answer and the carrier is Banner Life. Okay, make sure you're appointed and make sure you're using Insure Me Now Direct with Banner. For up to 4 million today, coming soon, 5 million. Okay? Didn't hear it from me. Let's have a great 2026. Happy and healthy new year. Great selling. Please reach out with any questions. We're literally here for you every step of the way. I said it 7 times already. Okay? Thank you, Transamerica. And let's make it a great year, month, week, day. Great weekend. Thank you again.